Yo, what is good, my anime people? What is good, yo? I am pretty torn on what I wanted to talk about at the start, and I think we're gonna definitely start with the food award. See, now it's still pretty new in the case of like how long it's been since I've seen it. I've been looking forward to seeing Food War because it left off on one of the bigger cliffhangers I've seen in anime when it comes down to just having a situation popping off and then being like, well, come back next time. Bye bye. Like that felt very, very cold-blooded. So, at least now what we get to see is the rest of what's happening and I don't know if I've already seen the show or something, but I'm out here calling what's gonna happen, and that kind of sucks. 'Cause I mean, think about it like this: there's these characters that have been working non-stop, repeatedly, to get anywhere better, in the grand scheme of just being better cooks, being bigger rivals for people who are some of the best or some of the people that they believe are the best and they're trying to keep up. All these different things are really good indicators as to why this show is doing so well. And I say that because every time I've kind of like chosen to like chime in on this show, I don't think I've ever been steered wrong. Just in the case of how, I mean, like I was reading some comments and stuff on like what people might dislike and stuff, and I guess we're kind of on the same boat. I don't really like dislike it as much as it's just something that comes with the territory of the show, and that's just a lot of people aren't into the people stopping the cooking to explain where the certain recipes like come from and stuff like that. They really don't like that, or they just don't like the case of the show ending premature before giving us the conclusion of the story, which is normal, but the way Food War can even continue to have so much success, or so many episodes, I should say, as well, is because of that time they take to put into explaining all that stuff. If they didn't and they just cooked the plates, we have no regulation of why they did it, where it came from, how it came from, why it's a tradition. All these different things being taken out of it, we would have seven huge fights that feel meaningless because they're just going to end all very, very quickly, and whoever they just choose is the victor for whatever reason they see fit, which I mean does happen in some capacity, that they just choose whoever they feel is fit, seeing how the guy who we watched this week's episode was a perfect imitator and could, flawlessly trace what you would do in certain situations of cooking just by studying you and knowing what you're capable of. So to all of a sudden have this guy even capable of losing without, tying and having the same exact plate just also goes to a certain length of telling us like, hey, we made these characters really cool and really broken, but at the same time, we have even more broken characters for you to see. So here you go. Which I appreciate. I think it's a smart gamble because, I mean, let's to be fair, did anyone think a person who gets picked up at the last second was going to last very long in a battles of the cooking prowess against some of the greats, these great, talented cooks? Um, it just didn't feel like they set them up for success from the beginning, and I literally just did a full circle. But that's kind of like my one nagging part of the show, is just, oh, this feels like I can call it from a mile away, and that's never really fun for me in my case. I mean, I watch so many different shows, so to be able to watch a lot of them and still not know what's coming around the corner on them is what really made me believe in anime's like open freedom of storytelling. And I'm not saying this is bad or anything. I'm not saying like because it was predictable it's bad. It's just that it goes to show you there's so much more on the line for our main characters that they were high praising these people to be, so good at their craft. But now that they're seeing that there's people even better, or even if you copy these people that are great at what they do, you still have to come a little bit harder than that. So I don't know. It's you could take it either way. You could take it as like, wow, that guy was useless, and or both of them were useless. Like one of them had less personality than the other, and he was just really good at making ramen, and still wound up losing, and that was kind of the whole gist of that, you know. So I don't know. It felt weird. It just definitely felt weird. It felt like I knew these characters couldn't have had that big of a role just by the way they were introduced so quickly and just like spit out to us like, oh, here, take this. Oh, thanks. This character that we seen, one Yoma, or our main character absolutely slapped this guy. Thanks. We wanted to definitely see this. Okay, that's where I need to go right there. So I don't know. I'm just interested in seeing, overall the grand scheme of this because, like I said, these people are very, very talented and stupidly good at cooking, but there's still people that are beating them. And I think that is done so purposely because we needed to spend a little bit more time to give the people who are the top of the top more room to shine, more room to gloat, if you will, because they didn't get to gloat enough. They haven't proven their point of why they're much more capable of doing what needs to be done compared to other characters. So I look forward to that. I did another circle. I hate myself and I hate this map. But yeah, overall, I definitely want to see what you guys are talking about on Food War. It's been a wild ride for this show, and I feel like either you hate it or you love it. But most of the people that are still watching it either have their own reasons for watching it or they hate it, which is fine either way. Oh, wait, yeah, I needed to go down, but maybe I need to go. I just want to see, like in the comments, if you have a strong opinion about any of this, like now those guys just got slapped in that battle, right? Like they just lost pretty badly, and they just kind of had to pick themselves up after watching their teammates fall the way that they did. So it's gonna be an interesting ride. I definitely want to see all of why this guy who has also lost to Soma, and Soma didn't necessarily beat this white-haired guy that he went up against for a little bit. Um, I want to know why he thinks he has a chance in what we're seeing this week or next week's episode with two top people going against each other yet again. It's going to be probably a one-sided win. Like, let's be honest. There's no way this guy has a chance against him simply because of how much how much has already kind of gone into this. Feels like they've pretty stamped and signed it that the guy with the white hair is just broken. He was using some grater that was the same size as like an actual long sword. So I think he's ready for all this and what is to come with it. So with all that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing day, night, evening, whenever you're watching this. I am your boy, the Anime J, and I will definitely talk to you with some more content, either Fire Force or Dr. Stone is coming up soon. So keep your ears and eyes out for that on the channel, and I hope you have a good one. And peace.